What's going on? I'm Justin, and this is episode 14 of Game Rants. And today, with me, I have Clash of Clans player and ranked in the game number 564, Alex Jurgens. Woot. Alex, are you going to say something or just something?
I can say something. I don't think I'm ranked that high in the game, though.
Okay, well, you're a Clash of Clans aficionado. I needed a way to introduce you.
I mean, I have been playing now for at least 6.5 years. So.
Okay, there you go. And most of the world dropped off like
2014, 15, somewhere
there.
There
You go, perfect.
Some other people picked up. It's weird when I talk to some kids that weren't even in high school when I started playing, so.
That's weird. All right, so our icebreaker for today is what is the worst vacation you've ever been on? Do you want to kick this one off, Alex?
Yeah, I can.
I think I already know this, but I want you to tell
worst
me.
I guess the vacation itself wasn't bad, but it was the buildup that that my parents had. So they made it sound like for spring break we were going on this really awesome, cool trip, and I was like, okay, cool. I got so excited the week leading up to it, and then on that Friday, I found out we were going to a wonderful town, but we were going to Dubuque, Iowa. So, for those who don't know, it is a beautiful place, and it had a cool water park. It also has the shortest and steepest trolley. Fun fact.
I didn't know that.
So, yeah, it goes basically, it's almost like an elevator straight up a mountain.
Oh.
But, well, not even really a mountain, but a cliff side. Because
yeah,
Iowa doesn't really have mountains. Yeah, we don't have mountains here, but, yeah, it was cool. But, yeah, no, I gotta say, it was a little bit of a disappointment.
Nah, like, because to put it in relation, like, we went to a school with a lot of wealthier people, wealthier families, and they were all like, we're going to Disney World. We're going to, like,
Europe
or somewhere else. And your parents are like, we're going to Dubuque. Yeah.
Not hating on my parents, so thank you for the trip. A couple years later, though, we did get to go to Texas, so that was fun.
Ooh, that's an upgrade.
That was an upgrade.
Over Dubuque. Well, for me, I guess my worst vacation would be when we went to the stupid Boundary Waters. And I know I've told this story a couple of times. Oh my gosh, it was the most miserable week of my life. Basically, you like go. It wasn't like the hardcore camping that made me so mad. It was the everything else. Like there were like literally clouds of mosquitoes, and like there was an older couple that we were with that would like snore in sync. The guy I shared a tent with was overly positive and just like, come on, guys. I know we're standing on a rock at 3 a.m. because there's lightning in the area, but come on,
wait,
guys.
Time out. You were standing on a rock?
Yeah, it's a lightning stance, so like we don't get zapped by lightning.
You were standing on top of a rock.
Correct.
Okay.
A rock. So, yeah. And it would be like, it was raining, and we were soaked, and it was miserable.
In all my years of
Cub Scouting, Boy Scouting, Eagle Scouting.
Yeah, and everything. I never learned the rock technique.
Apparently, that's what they told us to do.
Nope,
Okay, well, I don't know.
I'm not saying it's not a valid one. It's just one I haven't heard of.
You can talk to the guides at the Boundary Waters. They were the best people in the group, and I don't even know them, or have I spoken to them in 7 years. They were my favorite people in the group. That's saying something. But anyways, so me and Alex today are going to be discussing video games that could be TV shows and TV shows that could be video games. Unlike the last time Alex and I did this, we're going to break it up into 2 separate segments. So this first part is going to be video games that should be TV shows. Do you have any off the top of your head? Because I'm kind of trying to brainstorm
video games that would make good TV shows.
Because I've got some.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't play that many video games that I think would make good TV shows. The only one I can think of right now are a few of the, I guess, military-based games that I think would be interesting. So, like, I guess Battlefield 1 would be kind of interesting. Just really in general, a World War I based TV show would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Also, I know they did a mini series. I don't know if they did a TV show, but Halo would be kind of cool as well.
Yeah, like do you think those would be like animated or live action or like
I think both would be good live action.
Yeah, for sure.
I saw the miniseries for Halo. I'm trying to think. It came out right around the time Halo 4 came out. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty good, honestly. So I think it's possible, but I think it would be a good, like, kind of miniseries rather than a, like, 22 episode long TV show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're gonna know the answer to this, but like, what's the average budget for like a TV show like that? Like, what is like 22 like a 22 episode season TV show? Like, what's your average budget per episode?
I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea. Because I know roughly how much like cast costs, but that it also depends on if it's a sitcom, and stuff like that. So
from what I know, I don't know if this is completely correct, but like shows like Arrow or The Flash or something like that, they get about $1 million an episode.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what they're working with. So I think you could do it for $1 million per episode, because like they oftentimes have like those episodes where they save on their budget, so they like stockpile it for the season finale.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, they do that. So like I think they have like a $22 million budget. They just spend it differently per episode. I think that's how it works. I'm not entirely sure on that. You can go ahead and correct me if you know something about television in the comments section below. But yeah, I think I'm trying to think of. I'm still trying to brainstorm in my mind, which is kind of bad. You think I should be doing this in advance, but why would I do that? It's more fun to do it spontaneously.
Is it though?
Yeah.
No, it is. But
it is.
It's more interesting to see your thought process. But
it's more organic, and I like organicness versus like me having like a script planned out in front of me. I think for me, one of the ones I would pick would be something like maybe like one of the Final Fantasies. I think those would be good.
And see,
it could be a mini series. I think that's probably what it would be. But they've done like a Final Fantasy VII movie, so I think that would look good. Like, have
they really?
Yeah, they have. Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. It's like a sequel.
To be fair, I have not played a single Final Fantasy game, so I'm not a good judge on.
Or like maybe like an MMO, like maybe do something like World of Warcraft and have it set in the World of Warcraft universe and like maybe base it on characters that
I had an idea of a TV show that would make a good kind of switch around.
Well, we're not there yet.
I'm sorry, I have ideas.
All right, well, we'll get there. Slow your horses, brother.
I have more of TV shows because I watch more TV shows than I do play video games.
That's why you're on that.
I know, that's why I'm on this side. So
I think also I'm trying to think of games that I've played. I think maybe like some backyard, like the backyard games can make.
Okay, yeah, I haven't played some of those for a long time, but
I think those would make a good like TV show, because like I think I'm gonna be honest, I think television's kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel nowadays, like especially in kids television. Like it's just nothing compared to like what I hate to sound like a 90s kid, but I think
you say that, but I've heard that we're in or have been in the golden age of television. So
really,
yep,
I don't believe that.
I actually kind of do. I think, well, I don't know if the golden age is still going on, but it's kind of hard to come up with a time frame
for stuff like that.
That's still happening. So
yeah, for sure. But I think overall the quality of things, like there's definitely quality projects out there like that you can name, but I think overall the quality isn't as good.
Okay.
I think you have more like classics back in the day than you do like nowadays. Like I think things are like good for like a good period of time, but it's like does it last is what I'm looking for. So like I thought the idea of like making a video game into a TV show, like something like an Assassin's Creed. Even I know we've talked about that in the past. It's because it's a movie.
Because it is a movie. Although
but would it?
I'm gonna be honest. Did not see a movie as a movie, and I think it honestly would be better as a TV show. But
yeah, because it spans across multiple games, and you could make each game like an individual season. That would be something really interesting. You could even do that with we talked about earlier, the Halo franchise. You could do that.
Oh yeah,
and
we
make
did
each
talk
game
about
a
that.
season, or maybe like even I don't know how connected are the Call of Duty games.
So it depends if you're talking about like the
story,
modern ones, and because I'm guessing you're not,
or like any of them in general. Like how connected is the single player as a whole?
I mean, I've only really played the story of Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3.
Okay,
and they're pretty well connected.
Okay,
so
you can maybe make like make something like that.
Now the only thing is the enjoyment, at least for me as a person, is that there's not really a whole lot of suspense or build up or anything like that. The enjoyment comes from taking part in it. So I'm not sure if those would be as good as TV shows.
So you would maybe have to kind of organic, or
you'd definitely have to change it up.
Yeah, you'd have to change up the story a little bit to maybe introduce some more elements to make it enjoyable to watch.
There are some storylines in it that I think would be kind of cool as a TV show, just in general. So.
Yeah, for sure. I think also there was one I was just thinking about. I haven't actually played it myself, but it's called Octopath Traveler, and pretty much
I have no idea what that is.
I'll tell you about it. So it's a game on the Nintendo Switch, and there are 8 main characters, and you get to pick as which one you play, and you basically go through each of their stories. So but they travel as a party. So like you could make 8 in different seasons, but have them focus on like the 8 different characters and like have it from their perspective.
Okay,
I think that would be something unique.
That would be kind of cool.
Like something that's never been done before too. Like I can't think of a show that's done it like that. Like the closest thing that comes to my mind, just because we're watching it right now, is Scrubs. Like how when JD hands off the baton to someone else, like.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I know several books that do that, that cover the same event from different perspectives.
Yeah. And I mean, it's done like on an episode. Like sometimes they'll do that in episodes. Like I watched an episode of Arrow recently that they tell the story from like multiple different perspectives, like trying to piece it together. But I don't think they've done that like on a like whole, like there are 8 different seasons of this show, but there's like individual different story elements that are told. Like there will be stories that'll be touched on in like.
Did you ever watch
seasons.
the TV show 24?
I did not.
Okay, because I mean the whole season takes place in a 24-hour period. Yeah. So that's one that It's I get not exactly what you're saying, but I kind of get like something similar to that would be kind of cool to see again.
Yeah.
Or see a video game that's kind of in the same
along those lines for sure. I think that would be a really cool idea. But other video games that I think would be good. I'm thinking maybe something along. Why is the only thing that's popping in my head is Mario, and I think that would be a terrible idea.
That's one of those things that I've been worried about is them making really, really crappy Mario movie or TV show, and I'm kind of glad it hasn't happened. But
there's one in production, so it's gonna happen all over again.
I was really hoping that it would kind of die.
Yeah, one that just popped into my head though that I think is gonna be a movie is The Legend of Zelda. There's some talks.
That's one of those that I'm surprised.
Would be really good if done right, because. My only problem with it would be you have to give Link a voice actor, and as a silent protagonist,
I mean,
you can't make Link if you could make Link silent, I think you could maybe do it, but it would be really challenging from a writer's perspective. Especially like having the person you have on the screen for most of the time not being able to talk. So like maybe pairing them with like, because oftentimes Link's paired with a companion character like whether it be Midna or Fee or someone like that. So he has a companion character, but like in Breath of the Wild, he's got no one. So like if you wanted to go that route, I mean, you got no one. He literally just sits there like a brick. But that would be a challenge. It would be unique for sure. Like it would be something very intriguing from a production standpoint to be like, okay, we literally have this person who we don't care what they sound like. We just need someone who looks like the character. That would be really strange. I don't know if I could watch something like that. Honestly. It'd be really weird.
If done poorly, it would be very, very awkward to watch.
Yeah, it would be really uncomfortable.
And honestly, I don't know how you could execute it well, but I'm guessing somebody's got an idea somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
But
yeah, or maybe even the. I know I talked about this in the movie one, but the Uncharted series could make a good one as well. Just make each of the games an individual season, 4-season show. You can even have like a sequel series with some of the other side characters that even have gotten games in recent memory. You could make a spin-off, but that would be fantastic because those are kind of tell a story as is. Like the gameplay is kind of secondary. So I think that can be adapted into a TV show very easily, especially with a lot of the stuff you do. Like because the difference between a TV show and a movie is you kind of have to like the TV show you can kind of span longer and get more in depth with stuff, but like a movie you're kind of trying to tell a story within an hour and 30 minute to an hour and 30 to 2 hour window. Wow, I was struggling with that statement. Usually there are exceptions to the rule.
I was gonna make a couple comments, but I decided not to.
Sure,
just seeing that some of the highest grossing movies
are the longer ones
have been longer, but
but I think those are also tied to like a franchise as well. Like for example, argue with me if you're wrong. If I'm wrong, because I would say like because the big one that pops in my mind is Endgame. Endgame just came out, and
that is a longer one.
Huge franchise that is like it's been going for like a long time now. But like, what are some of the other longer ones?
Well, the one of the best financially was Titanic.
Okay, I was gonna say that. I was thinking about that.
We could go with one that hasn't had its sequels yet. Avatar.
Yeah.
So those have both been at the number one spot.
Yeah.
They both were there for a long time.
Yeah. But I would say those are two.
Those are exceptions.
Those are kind of exceptions, but there's an exception to everything as well.
Yep.
And from a TV show perspective, like you got to think of it like how many viewers are you getting? Like, where's the money? And like, you got to think about it differently than a movie as well, which is why it's a different thing entirely. Putting something on the small screen, I think, can be almost a little easier than getting a movie. Do you think?
So I feel like certain stories are better told in
the television format. For sure.
But there's also a lot of things that have been done in TV format that I think would have been better as a movie or as like 3 movies. But
is there any other video games you're thinking of before we close up the book and move on to the other half of our
Not
podcast?
really, no.
All right. Well, we're going to move to the other half of the podcast, which is TV shows that can make good video games. So I know Alex has been clamoring to get to this part because he's been sitting here like, oh my gosh, can we get to this part? And I'm all like, no, slow your horses. All right, Alex, go. You're free reign.
Okay, so a couple things that I thought of. One that hasn't happened yet, and I'm really shocked, is Star Trek. Like a really good Star Trek video game.
Yeah. Is there? I'm gonna look it up. Keep talking.
I know there have been video games, but I'm thinking of a first person kind of similar to. There's been a lot of Star Wars games that I've played that I've really enjoyed, and I'm just shocked by the Star Trek games that I have played.
are not very good.
Oh, they're just they never do that well, and I've never found them to be like, I never go back to them and play them like hours for hours. It's there's other and honestly, for the stories that are told in Star Trek, I think would be really cool to see in a video game format.
Yeah, there have been video games made for Star Trek since 1971, and it was a text game.
Yeah, no, I know there had been many games, but it's just
because I'm going to be honest, I haven't heard much about the Star Trek franchise having video games, rather than like everyone's heard about Star Wars getting video games, which is the immediate comparison you make.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at this list right now on Wikipedia, and literally most of their games are PC.
I was gonna say, I know some like a lot of them are like spaceship combat games, which I haven't played those, so I don't know.
Their first, I think it looks like their first console release was on the 360 in 2006. They finally broke into the.
Oh yeah, that I do remember that one.
Yeah,
because that was right before
published by Bethesda, actually. So, here's the console list. So, I was on the. No wonder sorry, completely scratched what I just said. I was on the friggin' computer list.
Well, so that would limit your.
That would limit my options. Look, yes, there's a Star Trek game for the Wii. No duh. Yeah. Okay, but there's way more for the console or for the PC than there are for traditional video game consoles. But do you have anything, any other shows that you can think of off the top of your head?
So another TV show that I had thought about that's quite popular, especially right now with its last season going on and some mini-series, like a world exploring a Game of Thrones.
Oh, so, I was thinking that too. I was thinking about that in the car today, like a GOT game.
Yeah,
that would do so well.
And honestly, if they did make it, I wouldn't want it to be set in the same time period as Game of Thrones. I want it either set couple like 50 or 100 years before.
Maybe do like
or you could do even earlier, but I think it would be just kind of cool to be able to explore that entire world, because it's so well fleshed out in some areas, and then there's some areas where it's because they're still kind of in the Middle Ages. There's a lot of the entire planet that hasn't been explored. So
yeah, do you think what kind of genre of game do you think it would be? Like an RPG, like a MMO?
I think RPG would be kind of. I think for me personally would be more enjoyable, but I'm not saying that the others wouldn't.
Kind of like a Skyrim.
Honestly, yeah, I didn't want to compare it to Skyrim, but honestly, I think it would honestly be. Yeah. It would end up being a lot like Skyrim.
I think that's kind of the natural
just
comparison.
Just with Game of Thrones skin on it.
Game of Thrones coat of paint.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, sometimes that's
what people want.
It's like that's why you pay for these like brand deals. Like that's where the money is. Because that would sell. I think that would honestly sell better than Elder Scrolls 6. I know that's a big order, but like literally. Game of Thrones, you look at the viewing from like literally since season 8's premiered, it's like 17 million people or something stupid. Like, holy crap, on HBO of all things. Like, that's insane. Like that's insane numbers. That's for a TV show, that's insane.
And a lot of it's because of how good the plot for the story, for the entire show series is, and how well it's connected. So that's one thing that if it was RPG, I think plot would be something that would be important as well.
Yeah, and even based on like, you can maybe even take the plot. I'm not too familiar with the show. You can maybe take the plot a little bit deeper and like maybe you make some different decisions than the main characters do, and you see like different things. Maybe have it go that route. I don't know.
As somebody that's watched all the show,
Sure.
I'm not sure that would. I guess it would be interesting for what if scenarios, but that's part of the reason why I thought it would be better to
keep it as like a
set years in the future where we have. I guess information on past kings of the area and different big major events that happen, but it's the smaller events where the person could just kind of explore and run around and do different things. Where honestly, if you did something that didn't fit the story because there's not really a story for that area. There's I think there's only one prequel book that I've read. That's Duncan Egg, I think, is
and I think I think setting it just from like a writing perspective, I think setting it in the future is probably the best, because like you don't have to, like, with a prequel you have to end at a certain point, like you're going somewhere, so you already know the end. But like with a future thing, you start at the beginning and you can just write whatever you want. So like you can end wherever. So I think that's less challenging, and I think more room for success.
Yeah.
And as a business, I think that's what you want. You want to. I don't want to call it safe, but I think you want to be able to make the most money you possibly can. And I think doing that allows you to make the most money you possibly can versus taking an idea. I think prequels are risky because you have to take an idea and get somewhere. Like, that's harder to do with a writing perspective.
Yeah.
So, as I just kind of explained. So, are there any other TV shows that you were thinking, or because I thought of Game of Thrones too, and that was one that was one that really jumped out at me.
So another one that I thought would be kind of interesting, although I haven't quite figured out how you would do it, but the TV show MASH, I thought just I guess set during the Korean War would be kind of an interesting video game.
Yeah.
And so, do you know this kind of the
a
general
little bit,
idea
but you
of
can
MASH?
fill in the audience.
Okay, so MASH is a TV show that was made during I think it was 1970 to 82, and so the tail end of the Vietnam War, and it's set during the Korean War. So I believe it's mostly set from 50 to 52, 53. Well, I'm sorry if my dates are slightly wrong, but
1950 to 1953.
So okay,
I have it pulled up on Wikipedia, so I'll correct you if I need to.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's about a mobile army surgical hospital, which is what MASH stands for. And so I think it would be kind of cool to see and do both parts of the doctor, patients, and then also military personnel just in general. So
yeah, especially in a because it would be an FPS. Obviously, I mean, if you're doing war, you're probably doing third-person shooter or first-person shooter, and especially in those two genres, they're very oversaturated, and I think something like that would bring something different to the table.
Part of the reason why I like it is because when I was thinking of ideas, I kept thinking of TV shows, and I'm like, oh wait, no, that's a lot like this one or like that one. And because of the medical aspect, I know there's a lot of medical TV shows, but the military aspect of MASH and the quality of stories and everything, I thought made it unique.
Yeah, for sure. I think that would, because basically what this whole thing is about is like trying to find those unique things and pick them out. So they don't like end up like something else. Like taking a risk, but taking like a calculated risk on a property that's already like well established. Versus like coming up with a completely new IP. Because like a lot of IPs don't sell very well at the beginning. Like you kind of have to like establish.
Can be very difficult.
So like if you get something like a MASH that's already like has an established fan base, or get something like an Octopath Traveler that has an established fan base, and you move it to television, like you already have that fan base that you can count on to move with the product wherever the product goes.
And see, another thing that I thought was interesting is that a lot of people that weren't around when MASH was originally airing have heard of the show but really haven't seen it, have no idea other than it's a TV show, and that's about it. And so I think if they were able to successfully sell the video game, I think it would get more people interested in the TV show, which I think would also be beneficial. So.
Yeah, because then they would make money off the reruns too.
Yeah, it is. It's on reruns just constantly on different networks that tend to show older TV shows, but a lot of people our age tend not to really watch those. So
yeah, like, and that's
whenever I talk to people our age, the main shows they watch are The Office, Parks and Rec, Friends, and sometimes Community.
And I think that
it's like the same things, but
for these older shows, their audience is dying out, so they need kind of a way to reach the next generation.
Get a different audience, age group.
Different audience. So I think that would actually be a really good idea. What was the one I was thinking of? I just thought of one like 2 seconds ago. Crap, I lost it. Like maybe something like an Amazing Race or something, or like a true blown Survivor game.
I was kind of thinking of something similar to like. Not exactly the TV show Lost, but something kind of like that. Yeah, with a little bit. I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched Lost, so
for sure.
But I think that would be kind of cool. The general concept of Lost. Yeah. But another. I couldn't think of really many TV shows because there's a lot of them that it's the plot. That I tend not to do well with that, coming up with video game ideas with TV shows that are really have plot focused. So.
Yeah, because there's like a lot of times when these, especially when a TV show does move to a video game, it's aimed at a generally younger audience. Like, for example,
can you give me an example?
Sure.
Because I actually can't think of.
No, the one example that really jumps to my mind, and the reason it does, I'll tell you the story first. So, when we were driving home from St. Genevieve. It's a small town in Missouri. Shout out to St. Genevieve, Missouri. If you're a viewer there, my cousin's probably watching this, so shout out to you guys. But that town's boring. But my brother, we were driving home from there, and my brother wanted the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody game for the DS. And this game is a piece of literal garbage.
Yeah, I could see that.
Oh my gosh, it is the crappiest game I've ever seen. And the only reason they made it is it's cash grab. It's literally a cash grab. So
it has the name of...
It has the name of a show, an established audience that's going to buy it.
I remember that game.
And my brother bought this stupid thing. God. And then it sucks. And I remember he's all like, yeah, I want either Mario Kart DS or this... Sweet Life of Zack and Cody game.
So wait, he chose between the two, and he chose Sweet Life.
No. So what happened on the way home was I was buying him his birthday present and giving it to him, and then he left, and I bought him Mario Kart DS because that's the game I thought was better. Well, and he was all like, "Oh, where the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody?" And if he tries to argue this story in the comment section down below, he won't. He can't, because he knows I'm right. He knows in his heart I'm right. And he picked the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. He wanted the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. He was mad that I got him a superior title, such as Mario Kart DS. And you want to know what? I'm even going to do you a favor. I'm going to look up the review scores of Mario Kart.
I was kind of curious.
This is totally off topic. But I'm going to look at the review scores of Mario Kart DS versus... The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. We're going to make this a fun little game. Alex, I want you to guess what the review scores of these games are. I want you to take a guess. I want you to just take a guess. Let me find, is there even one? Oh, here we go. We're going to use Metacritic. Hopefully this is the right one. Is it the right one? This is not the right one. Oh, it's called Sweet Life of Zack and Cody Tipped in Trouble. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll use IGN, I guess, because IGN actually has an article on it.
I'm just
sure.
trying to picture. I kind of actually forgot about the sequel series that was the Sweet Life
Of
on Deck.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they didn't make a video game for that, but
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what Mario Kart has to say.
About that.
And there is... Oh, yeah, there's multiple pages on Mario Kart. Okay, so take a guess.
Yeah.
I think it's out of...
Is it out of 100, or is it like the score, or is it?
It's a really weird scale. So
It sounds
I'm just gonna tell you, Mario Kart DS, amazing. 9.5 presentation, 9 graphics, 9 sound, 10 gameplay. Overall, a 9.5.
Yep. Well,
Oh, there is a. I'm just a freaking idiot and can't read their website. Okay, so what do you think? The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody game got?
if I'm gonna be honest, I'm guessing it's close to like the 3.5, 4 range.
It's a 5.
oh, right.
Presentation 3.5.
Okay.
Direct quote. Horrendously bad cutscenes make the game feel more ridiculous than it needs to be. The game is for tweens. The humor is for toddlers. 7 for graphics. 5 for sound. 5 for gameplay. 6 lasting appeal. That's it. And they gave it a 5.
I'm honestly curious.
I don't even think it deserves a 5.
I wonder what it must have felt like working on that game, knowing that you were making crap.
You were making crap. Like, you probably just felt bad about yourself.
Yeah.
I've gone on a huge tangent about this, but that's an example. That was the bottom line of what I wanted to get to. They don't translate well.
No.
Like, they usually don't. And I want something that does. I want something to succeed. I don't want to be a negative nanny that criticizes the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody
Are you looking
game.
for the word negative Nancy?
That's what I'm
That's
looking
what
for.
you're looking for.
Sure, negative Nancy. I don't want to, like, what if the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody game was a 9? What if it was amazing? What if it was?
I'm genuinely curious how that would happen.
I don't know how you do that, but what if it was? I'm just saying it could be good, and I just think there's more benefits to having these like already established franchises succeed because these people are making money. Literally, put in the time, do the work, make the money. It's not that hard. Don't make crap just for the sake of making crap.
Well, if they can make money,
I mean, if they're gonna do it anyway, despite what I say.
I was gonna say,
but if you make it good, maybe you get more audience members that are going to get you. Because literally, I bet you $10 if somebody sees a Sweet Life of Zack and Cody game on a shelf now, or like if they did after that game came out, they're not gonna buy it because they know it's gonna be crap.
Yep.
Like, they're not gonna buy it. So it's literally like a one-time cash grab rather than like a cash cow that you can go back to and literally just milk it. Like, anytime a 3D Mario game comes out, you're gonna make like just a stupid amount of money because everyone's gonna buy it because it's already an established thing. So I just think, just use it for your advantage. But anyways, I think that's gonna wrap up this discussion. But if there are any video games that you think would make good TV shows or vice versa, tell us about them in the comments section below. I'll be down there answering questions and talking to y'all about it as usual. And now we're going to jump into the Toon testimonial. So, Alex, go ahead and tell my viewers what you've been jamming to recently. Anything from, like, this era or...
No,
it does not have to be from this era.
From this era?
You're my oldies guy. You're my oldies guy. What have you been jamming to lately, Alex?
I mean, a lot of stuff I listen to... I tend to listen to the band The Killers, for those who might know. One of the guitarists from them actually is from a town nearby, so...
Oh, nice.
Always like listening to them. Always enjoy listening to the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack 1 and 2.
Okay.
That's always fun. But also, I'm a big fan of the group Greta Van Fleet. For those who might not know, they're fairly new group that released an album in, I think it was 2017. But yeah, if you really like classic rock, they're something that you should definitely check out.
Cool. That's awesome. I'll have to check them out because I haven't actually heard their stuff or heard about them.
Oh, okay.
So I've been listening to Bad Liar by the Imagine Dragons. It's actually really good. That's kind of my.
I had a feeling that was the first group that you were going to mention.
I actually
how did I know?
Don't listen to the Imagine Dragons that often, but this is actually a good song.
For some reason, I just
I'm an Imagine Dragons guy.
Yeah.
No, I've also been listening to, strangely enough,
Britney Spears
song. No, there's a song that popped into my head. It's called 7 Days a Week, and it's from Scooby Doo and the chase scenes, and they run around. Yeah, I've been jamming to that lately, so that's been like a nice throwback, and I've been getting into some of those as of late. Also, I mentioned this last podcast, but I've been listening to some more AK. It's this rapper that I found. He's like 18. He's really good. He's super talented. But
is he called AK because he can shoot out words really fast?
I think so. I'm not entirely sure behind his name.
'Cause I feel like there was somebody that I heard about that was like that.
I don't know if that's anything. But Alex, do you have any social media you want to plug? Or
oh no, not at all.
You don't want my viewers to go follow you?
No, it's not that. It's just I don't use the social media that I have. So what you're going, if I do throw out whatever my handle or whatever is, you're going to find pretty much a blank page that the last time was posted was 3 years ago.
Probably.
I think my Instagram that I had to create for some class last used was 2015.
Nice. All right. As always, I'm going to plug my social media because I have too much.
You actually have people
and people need to hear about it. So if you guys like this content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's the big red button. You can't miss it. Hit it. Lets you know when I post stuff. Hit the notification bell, and it'll even send a notification to your phone or send you an email or whatever. Go ahead and smash that like button, in the words of the great Eric Rasmussen, who's probably not watching this. Hello, Eric, if you are. And if you're feeling frisky, share this on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. I don't care. And if you want to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, it's at JUSTinTHElight. And on Facebook, it's Justin Ewing Media. I post all the videos that go up on there with a funny little tagline. So yeah, and I even post some behind-the-scenes stuff sometimes. So you guys can stay checked into that. And yeah, as always, I will talk to you guys on the next one, and I hope you have a good one. And my brother just walked in the door, so he's going to yell something.
Bye!
See you later, homies.
Bye.
Bye, Felicia.